Hey Cannapreneurs, you want to hear something cool? You're going to want to listen to this. So I was listening to one of my podcasts the other day, the Adam Carolla Show, and Jay Moore was on. You know Jay Moore, sports talk, many movies, Jerry Maguire, TV shows, been around for 20-some years, very funny guy. Well, he was on and saying he was coming through Boulder and had a few extra tickets that he was looking to push through. So me, being the one always looking out for opportunities, sent him an email thinking, well, what can it hurt? I mean, somebody's got to answer these emails. So I sent him an email saying, I got a small podcast, maybe some demographics that might be right up his alley, and if you could send me a ticket or two, I would promote it on the show and I would be thoroughly grateful. What did he do? He personally sent me an email back no more than 10-15 minutes later saying he had 10 tickets for me that I could use to personally promote and give away on my show to those I wanted. The only rule was that it could only be one ticket per couple, and that ticket had to be pretty much a guarantee that they're going to show up and have some fun. So I want to extend that offer to all of you listening right now. All you have to do is contact me. Send me an email, send me a Facebook post, send me a message. It doesn't matter how you get it to me. Send me smoke signals. But if you want to go see Jay Moore on July 29th in Boulder, Colorado at the E-Town Comedy Theater, contact me. We got more to come.
Hi, this is True Diligence,
PI,
proud sponsor. If you're looking for a job
in the cannabis industry,
you know how fierce the competition is. Think of the character you'll demonstrate by showcasing your credentials at the beginning of the hiring process. A simple yet affordable way to show employers you're the clear choice. Visit our website at truediligence.com.
Move your resume to the top.
Open up, Colorado. It's 420. Time to grind and burn.
This is not your son's stoner show.
Welcome, all my friends, Cannapreneurs and followers. Welcome to the Cannabis Community Project. I am Brainstorm, here once again bringing you your weekly podcast from the CCP studios, high up in Denver, Colorado. I'm here exploring the business side of this newly emerging Colorado economy, focusing on the business, the patient, the retailer, to the geek in the garage, creating that next innovation in cannabis. This is the first media platform to let fellow cannapreneurs, entrepreneurs, and all those wanting to just dabble in the industry learn about business, build some sustainable business models, get some marketing ideas, learn what the basic path is to getting involved in the community while living the lifestyle. Together we can help each other grow a business or just grow a garden. Either way, thanks for joining us. Hey, we got a great show, epic show, another fully packed show of information, content, interesting conversations, and so much more. So much that we're just going to jump right into it and get going. We don't want to slow down the hour at all. So let's get started like every week, just remembering what we learned last week with our short-term memory flashback, look back to last week's episode. You remember what it was about? I do. Because it was a good one. It was a personal one. It was one that involved a good friend of mine and one that had some issues that I even needed to work through a little bit. You know, just because you're a smoker doesn't mean you can't be a drinker, and just because you're a drinker doesn't mean you have to quit and become a smoker. It's just about being open and transparent about what's actually going on out there in the world with individuals. So if you're like me, if you're like Jay, or if you're like anybody else out there and you just have some thoughts about drinking versus cannabis, let it be known. And that's what we did last week. Let's take a quick flashback to last week's episode and then move on. Here we go. I want to be involved in the industry, but I don't want to be a grower. I don't really want to be a retailer of it. I'm not really attracted to being exactly, sitting behind a dispensary counter, having some middle-aged dude ask me what do I recommend.
Right.
I don't want to be doing that.
No.
When I was younger, I kind of liked the undergroundness of it.
Same here. I mean, I've been wanting to basically apply some of the techniques that I've learned through various growers over the course of my, marijuana career. I mean, I got a formula for my soil. I got different techniques of how to maximize yield. So yeah, I mean, your average household grower will yield only 4 to 6 ounces per plant, but some of your more seasoned veteran growers will farm a freaking
if somebody
like
could
no
invent a growing greenhouse that was almost self-contained, come up with that box, and you're a billionaire.
Right.
So you have a lot of anger? Is that the root of your drug use and your drinking?
No, I just channel it in the right direction.
There's a good deal of alcoholism in my family, and I in my personal past have had many instances as a direct result of drinking. So it's one of those demons that I fight with also.
No, I mean, people drink to forget or drink to remember or whatever.
Are you saying you don't subscribe to that? Do you subscribe to a traditional AA kind of outlook on drinking?
No, because over the past couple of months, I went to a couple of them, and those guys are hardcore to where they can't even freaking step out their door without thinking about alcohol. But it wasn't something that ruled my life like these people need freaking...
You don't relate with them?
I couldn't relate with them, no.
Yeah. How old is your daughter?
She'll be 1 next week.
So when was your last DUI?
September of 2012.
So almost a year later than she was born, more or less.
Right.
Because so many things could have gone the other way.
Right.
As a result of drinking.
Yeah.
Still, I can't believe they're still going to give you a license to drive. Because literally, it feels like for 20 years you've had driving or drinking issues or something where...
Right. Because of her, it more or less is going to be like what shuns me from drinking into excess.
Just as much as anything else. So I guess there's hope for everybody to make change.
Right.
In life.
Yeah.
And now having kids is kind of like a copy extension of you. You get a chance to do it over with somebody else.
Yeah, and that's what I look forward to, and it's definitely
30 hours.
Did you say bye, baby?
Yeah, fuck. She's working.
Is our interview over?
She's worked one more baby.
Trash.
One more girl.
Told you.
There you have it. Jay, the man, working through life, working through issues, being open and honest with me and allowing me to work through issues right there on the air with him. Hey, you might have a story to tell, something that's compelling. We're not just looking for businesses. I don't just want business stories. I want everybody. I want to hear from businesses, of course. But I also want to hear from those who have something to tell, something to say, something that has to do with health, legal issues, food, music, growing, technology, or anything else you can think of that's relevant to the industry. It's really about storytelling. People like to hear good stories. People get involved in good stories. And that is what we're looking for. So if you have a story, contact me, find me. You can find me on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Doesn't really matter. Even Tumblr, Quora. I'm out there. I'm all over the place. All you have to do is just look up Cannabis Community Project and I'll be there. So last week, as you heard from that little clip there, and last week when you go back and listen to the full interview, you're going to hear right at the end there, right in the middle of our deep, heartfelt, soul-searching conversation between Jay and I, we get intruded upon by another friend. Another one, good old Nick being himself, coming into the conversation. And just so you thought that it wasn't just a random guy dropping in, I want to give you a few minutes of what happened after the interview cut off last week. What you heard at the very end there in the flashback where somebody came in and we kind of got cut off. This is your final warning. This episode contains explicit language and heavy talk about drug use and even the hint of active drug use.
Listen at your own risk. Well, we actually picked up another interview. So let me give it back to you before we move forward to Twin News This Week in News, so you can hear what Nick and I talked about right after Jay and I were done searching our souls. We jump into more of a lighthearted conversation about the industry in general, what Nick is doing out there in his involvement, and referring me to some good patients to talk to and talk about health issues. Nick and I sitting down in the garage right after Jason and I. Here it is.
Like that new song. What's my song? Fits
The
in
Walker?
tantrums? The Walker. So what's the show on this evening?
What do you want to talk about? We're talking about cannabis. It's a cannabis show.
Well, it's good to see what you're doing, seriously. Not to walk in all nonchalant.
Have you heard the show yet?
A little bit.
Yeah.
No. I seriously turned it on. The feed wasn't playing. I heard a couple clips of you through Jay's phone, but no, I know I'm a dead serious type of guy in the cannabis world. And
Why don't you introduce yourself?
my real name's Nicola Bergeron, and I'm the #1 connoisseur of Colorado's marijuana industry. But no, I'll tell you what the real interesting thing is to me, and this is just personally. In the last few days, I've had a good friend of mine with MS have real issues with just finding the right medications, and I'm talking on like a narcotics level. They've just really kind of pushed her in the wrong direction.
Like oxycodone.
Yep. And they had her on oxymorphone the other day because she had a fentanyl patch that the insurance company so pleasantly paid for. Particularly, one of the subjects she probably wants to talk about is these chem strains that are out there. Chem 91 and chem dog strains. Those strains have been proven to help MS patients quite a bit.
Yeah.
And now there's a real pull for it in the open market. They actually even sell it in some of the recreational shops. And she has trouble finding it when she actually needs it. It's one of those things that's, I think, becoming more of a talked about thing. With certain illnesses, there's a lack of supply and education to where these people need to go. And that's where she'd like to actually, at her age and her and I's interaction, I'm actually able to help her overcome most of these. But, your average day patient isn't. And in a sense, that's where I think there's...
But you're talking about making it into the butane hash oil.
No,
just smoking the flower.
Just any type of smokable chem product she's actually had relief from. She's saying that really the effect she feels from it is better motor skills, and MS does affect your you have leg spasms and things like that.
Yeah.
Thing is, and she doesn't know if that Chem 91 is the specific strain she needs, but there's obviously a lot of good characteristics about the high that gets her the good effect. More than not, by these MS doctors and some of the ones that work for the local hospital, she's being pushed the narcotic route, and then the marijuana side, she almost uses as her sensibility direction when she's on the narcotics. So she almost needs the marijuana at the same time. But Dr. Shackelford down on Broadway, she's actually had recent conversation too, within the last 2 months maybe with him, and he's saying that there are certain cannabinoids that are being proven to help MS. And I don't know if you've pushed towards any of those subjects.
Well, I've had 2 patients on before, one with MS specifically, and one that had a whole combination of Crohn's disease and MS and epilepsy, and I'm getting ready to interview a family who came here from Washington or Oregon with like a 6-year-old specifically for cannabis and is receiving treatments like the first patient at that age or something.
Well, and I think the perception value probably comes with the educational level, and to tell you the truth, I mean, the conversation goes farther than just patients with MS. If you look at what Josh Stanley's done, Robert Corey and him are pretty active, in the country right now, going around speaking about medical marijuana and what it's doing for our state. And in a sense, Charlotte's Web and some of these other strains that have been proven already to help certain illnesses, they've actually opened the science window to actually what these strains can do specifically for certain illnesses, because the cannabinoids being fixed, I think in your body is where the true effects and the true medicine's at. Wow. And that's what Dr. Shackelford, I think, is giving my friend Stacy the hope of. To me, it's a complex subject. There's a lot more to be explored. And Colorado's at the cutting edge of what to do with it. Josh Stanley's telling some of these states, like Oklahoma's Senate, he spoke to and told them to pass laws to keep their citizens living in their state, because we don't need all the influx of population here just because of the laws. Is probably what keeps me outspoken about it.
Are you wearing hemp shoes?
Oh yeah. These are Bob Marley. These are Bob Marley. The funny thing is,
emphasize the point that you're truly the #1.
Yeah. These are probably something Woody Harrelson would wear or something. I always probably wear something hempy related. I come from a family where I've never had to question my own relationship with it. We're just seeing the grassroots, effects of what can really happen at the day and age we're in. I think the internet and obviously what you're doing with your show really spurs the conversation. And to me, that's the most important thing. And I look at myself as more of a voice, I guess. a natural medicine. And I think that's something that is more interesting to me after my friend Stacy's interaction and stuff with the neurology side of it. There's probably even a lot of homeopathic stuff that can still be done with MS and some of the other illnesses out there. So, I think it's not just what we know about marijuana, but what we know about the plant in general. So with every
Did she
side
have
of
a magazine? Did she?
Yeah, I was a sales editor for the first medical marijuana news magazine that Kush actually acquired, and Cannabis, an active organization still here in Colorado, was a part of. That was a fun side of it. It is good people that stay a part of this industry. To me, it's a grassroots type of thing with no pun intended. I mean, there's a lot of cliches in this industry. In a sense, everybody has a play on words with the marijuana side. What's the most interesting show you've done, or whatever? Not to turn the show on.
This one right now.
Yeah. you know what? You are always a man of the best thing to say, and that's what I appreciate about
you. Last week's Twin News, This Week in News, we ran a little long because there was a lot of news to catch up with, a lot to report. This week for Twin News, we're going to focus on one issue we've focused on before, but we have to come back to it because it's an important one. It's one about podcasting. The patent trolls, to be more specifically. We're going to listen to one news piece where I talk a little bit about what's going on in this industry with patent trolls, how it affects podcasting, and how it could affect you, or at least you as part of the community who likes listening to podcasts. We're going to hear from Adam Carolla's plea to the crowdfunding market. He's raising money to fight the patent trolls, putting up the money, putting up the fight, doing it on our behalf. All of us little guys out there who don't have the big bucks yet, we're still able to function and bring our shows to you for free like we've been doing. But listen to this week's Twin News. Don't write it off just because it's not specific cannabis related. It's all cannabis related. But here we go. Let's get into it. It's an important one. Twin News, This Week in News. If you haven't heard, there's a legal fund out there called fundanything.com/patent troll. And this legal fund is kind of being spearheaded by podcaster Adam Carolla. If you're not familiar with Adam Carolla, I don't know, over the last 20 so years, Loveline, The Man Show, Crank Yankers, and now has the Guinness Book of World Record as the most downloaded podcast ever up to this point. I think he still holds that record. But it's a daily podcast you can find in iTunes, Stitcher, wherever, adamcarolla.com. And how this affects us, how this happens to be Cannabis Community Project news, is that we're basing our whole business model here on a radio show, a podcast technically. We're trying to do it like a radio show, but it's technically a podcast. And there's people out there, these patent trolls, that have bought up what they believe to be the rights of podcasting technology. And they've been going around for the last number of years extracting money quietly because most people don't fight it or publicly announce it. They just pay them off. And they've been extracting money from people for doing things like podcasting. Now, if you know anything about podcasting, this is literally something anybody can do if you have a computer and an internet connection. And you do it for free in the sense that nobody's going to charge you to, iTunes doesn't charge you, Stitcher doesn't charge you. I mean, aside from the cost of putting your own little show and podcast together, it's not like a radio show where you have to acquire a license and you're bound by certain FCC regulations and you're working within the airwaves. You're on the internet, a supposed free medium that allows anybody to empower themselves. And these patent trolls are basically saying they own the right to podcast, meaning the right to syndicate an RSS feed, to syndicate and sync up recordings. So if you're listening to me on wherever you're listening, whether it's from my webpage or Spreaker, iTunes, or SoundCloud, wherever you're listening to me on, you're listening in some type of podcast form. So what these patent trolls have the right to do is sue you or try to make you pay them. Well, Adam Carolla, being one of the largest podcasts and most popular, is standing up against them and is putting up over $1 million in legal fees to fight this battle. And in a sense, by fighting it and winning, it ensures the freedom for not only our show, but for all other shows that want to exist and all other people that want to be out there and have their say in the world of media.
So we supported them. As a show, we donated money, and you can find it at fundanything.com/patent troll, and you can donate any amount of money from $5 all the way on up, and you'll get different rewards. But by doing so, you're not just ensuring the continued listening pleasure and experience of my voice, of this show, but in a very connected way of every show. Because as much as I listen to podcasts and you listen to podcasts and we all engage in this kind of in a quasi-free manner. I mean, some of them have advertisers and sponsors that support it, and people sometimes pay for special content. But in a sense, it's free. It's free for you. It's free for me to be a medium channel. I don't have to purchase a license from the government to do this. They can't control what I say. They can't stop anybody outside of the realm of really having access to internet from providing a channel of communication to speak to the world and create your own audience and your own topic and your own theme, whatever you want to talk about. And although that's liberating, it's also very scary for those in power who have, for over a century, I guess now, controlled the airwaves, controlled them on our behalf as the people. So the government, the FCC, they control the airwaves on our behalf. So they say this is a public domain, kind of like when your water and electricity comes into your home and phone lines, what it used to be before. They say this is such a public domain that everybody engages in and everybody has a right to it, that as the government, we're going to control it and make sure it's regulated and kind of dealt in a fair, open access way. So for many years from the beginning, you would have a license and a certain frequency, and you would be obligated to cover so much content and diversity with news. And then over the years, as channels became more omnious, where basically everywhere you go, there's a platform, whether it's internet or airwaves or TV, there's a way to get media. Now it's become basically, there's still licenses of airwaves, but they're becoming less valuable because people are putting more of their value in the internet. So the internet being this open and free source that I can put out my message without having to apply for a license, and you can consume it without ever having to, I guess kind of as long as you have an internet connection. So as long as the internet's free, we can communicate in this free manner. Well, the patent trolls, by saying they own the right to podcasting and you either pay them or you stop podcasting, it's kind of like somebody saying they own the right to the airwaves or the TV or the radio or a newspaper. They own the right to this method of communication. So unfortunately, litigation is so expensive that at this point, Adam Carolla is stepping forward and putting together this crowdfunding campaign. It's kind of like a hero for the rest of all of our podcast community and listeners and society, because he's saying he's going to figure out a way to pull together a couple $1 million, which is ridiculous that it costs that much to fight or argue a case such as this. But he's going to pull that together on our behalf, and he's going to go to battle, and he's going to win, and that will set the precedent for all of us to continue to do what we're doing. So as long as I don't have to ask you for money, and there's companies out there that want to use my platform to message their message to the audience, and they're going to pay me for that, and we can all consume it in a semi-open, free, and unabridged manner, we're engaging in freedom and democracy. And that's why we donated as a company. And that's why we think you should too. So I'm going to play you just his crowdfunding campaign video so you can hear what it's all about and then make the decision on your own. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm small business owner Adam Carolla. I'm standing in my studio. I built this studio. Actually, we all kind of built this studio because you guys supported me and my podcast, and we started a nice, small business with a handful of friendly employees who aim to please. Unfortunately, they're guys called patent trolls. What do? Honestly, I still don't know. They buy up patents, and then they use them to get money out of businesses. And in this case, a podcast, a small podcast. Well, normally people settle up with these guys because it's so expensive to fight these guys in court. Well, guess what? We're going to circle the wagons, band together, and come out throwing punches. Here's my plan. We all band together, all the podcasts, because remember, if I go down, well, then your favorite podcast is going down next, and we're going to all fall like dominoes. But if we all unify, and stand and fight together, we can beat the trolls. But we can't do it alone. We need your support. Go to fundanything.com/patent troll and let's smash the trolls.
Well, there you go. Enough information to really make your own decision on if you want to support him or support our show. Just by listening, you're already giving us support. So please share it with your friend. Share it with your mom. Everybody needs to know about this show and also about how to save podcasting in general. All right, enough of that. That's all the news you need to know this week. And that was Twin News. Hey, Cannapreneurs. This week's show is sponsored by Dairy Berry's Recording Studio, located in Arvada, Colorado, with affordable rates. Mark is well experienced and will make your show, music, or any audio you have sound great. Take a look at dairyberriesrecordingstudio.com.
Well, we were just inspired by the cool new age music of this movie, so we decided to use a wall of keyboards to make our own great new age music. You want to help? What can I do? Well, I can teach you how to play the keyboards. Will it take long? Of course not. Come on over here. Yeah, check this out. Put your hand over here. Okay. Put your finger down like that.
Are you ready for today's show? It's an epic one, just like always. But more than others, this one just seemed to turn out with that sweet spot. We're back down here at Four Strains across from Broncos Stadium in the heart of Denver. We're back for round 2. Back talking to Mike and Jared in shop. Now, you may recognize them if you listened to show number 6 way back when. Show number 6 was the making of Four Strains, where we got all up and deep and personal about the inner makings of their business, how they got started. Very emotional and personal, but at the heart of a true cannapreneur. We come back today a little more lighthearted, coming back for a second round to take a look at what's going on in the business world. What is business requiring nowadays to stay afloat? How is the head shop working, the hookah lounge? How are we working around technical issues and legal issues? That's what we're back to learn about today, because I'm sure you've been curious. I'm sure you've heard about these smoking lounges around town, the places where people are bringing their own BYO, whatever the B may be, but bringing it in, sitting back, relaxing, smoking, but it's not a bar because they're not selling anything to you. They're not serving it to you. They're just providing a private location for you to consume. Well, that's what Four Strains is. One of the originals, the first and originals. And you can find them right across from Broncos Stadium in the heart of Denver if you want to check them out. Or check out their webpage, fourstrains.com. Other than that, sit back and listen to how you can get involved if you want to be a dispensary, if you want to be a smoking lounge, if you want to be a head shop, if you want to be a caregiver. These guys cover all of it because they're involved in all of it and so much more, so much more.
They're making their own growing mediums, soils, working out taxi rides for round-trip vacationers. So many fingers, so many strands, if you will, involved in the business, and that's what this brand is coming up with, more ways to be involved in the community. So here we go, talking with Mike and Jared in shop again. Enjoy.
Topic we're talking about today, or
Maybe we could talk about a couple different topics. The fundamentals of being a business owner and running a business.
he's finally getting to take a vacation.
We could talk a little bit about the lifestyle of how to balance being a business and personal life.
Yeah.
Thought maybe we could talk a little bit about, since you're kind of involved in the product world of pipes, maybe helping other people who are developing pipes or products. How do you evaluate their own products for presentation to stores? Maybe juggle around a couple of those different topics and give us some of your insights about being a business owner and the balance between business and personal life. So remind us once again who you are, who we're talking to.
Yeah, Mike Polk. I'm actually creator and owner of Four Strains Smoke Shop. We're a head shop and a medical marijuana caregiver, and we give you free pot in our head shop. You come buy glass, but that's not as important as the fact that the store exists. It's really tough sometimes, man. I've already started a new website, but I haven't launched it. It only has the face page, and I've done the tabs, like, the smoking accessories, medical marijuana caregiver, photos and videos, stuff like that. We're going to put the garden club, the limousine service. But, there's going to be so much shit, dude, on the fucking website eventually, man. Yeah. But it's just starting. I got to get the old one shut down and put on it now.
Now it's the summertime. You want to introduce yourself?
Me? Oh, I'm Jared Davis.
Okay,
I'm the,
period.
I'm sorry, I'm the
Galactica, or do you want to say?
I'm the manager of Four Strains. I'm the guy you buy the pipe from.
Excellent, thank you. So the store. So the last time we spoke to you was back in about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I think it was show number 6, so people can find it. Show number 6, The Making of Four Strains. It was show number 6 called The Making of Four Strains. Go back and find it, learn all about the ins and outs of that. So we came back and visited this fine weekend, nice hot summer afternoon.
It's gorgeous out.
It is. How's business?
It's okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I mean...
The doors are still open.
Yeah. We're still...
Nobody's kicked them in either way.
Still got a job.
Still have a job. It's always a good thing.
I'm not doing anything wrong anyways. There's no reason to worry.
Yeah.
Just worry about paying the bills. I don't worry about the cost.
Customers are very happy.
Yeah.
They keep coming back.
Are you still running the main promotion of buy $30 or more in the head shop and get a friendly gift?
That also includes the hookah lounge as well. You can spend $30 on either side and you'll still receive the $3 gift.
I think last time we were here, the hookah lounge was just opening, maybe.
Well, now we have hookah lounge memberships that you can buy for $30.
What does that mean?
It's a 3-month membership, and it gets you 2 hours in the hookah lounge for $5. It gets you discounted prices for special Four Strains Hookah Lounge presents events. I think our first one is in November. Mike can tell you more about that one. And it also gets you another free joint on the first Friday of every month that you hold that card. And we're doing that to kind of get people to come out, and then our plan is to kind of send them to the first Friday art gallery down in Santa Fe. Get people out,
Nice. So that means they can come down, rent out the place, or by the hour afternoon events, bring their own product and enjoy an afternoon of smoking?
Yeah, we're an adult establishment, so it's BYOB. Bring your own bud, bring your own booze. All we ask is that you act like an adult.
Great.
But there's couches, movies, vintage Atari. It's just like being at your own house almost. I mean, stereo.
Big stereo system.
It
was donated to us, too. Isn't that cool?
And they can play their own 8-tracks and spin records.
There's no 8-tracks, man.
Yeah, we'll have some RCA jacks. conversion stuff on it. But,
Yeah, you can plug your phone in and get a nice good bass out of it.
Nice. So the membership this is a new thing?
Yeah, we just started it,
This week.
This
Thursday,
week.
Wednesday, Thursdays.
Nice. Well, I like membership ideas. I think memberships are a good way to
And
go.
it's renewable every 3 months.
Yeah.
So,
Do they have a membership card that they get to
you
carry?
get a sweet-ass
What does it
membership
look like?
card, dude.
It's in the
Do you
drawer.
have any
They're in the drawer.
Is it something that they're proud of to carry in their wallet and whip out? And...
It looks sort of like the ad, but different. It's like the title graphic logo thing.
Maybe if you gave honorary membership to the drivers of these bicycle and downtown taxis, they were honorary members, they would be more incentivized to bring their
It's
patrons.
just starting. I don't think you understand.
It looks just like the ad, too, so it's real recognizable, you know what I mean?
Cool.
For you. But yeah, literally, the whole idea about having a private space that that adults only in gives you the ability to smoke marijuana and or drink alcohol
Or smoke tobacco.
or smoke
We have
tobacco.
people that come here that don't even smoke pot. They just come to hang out.
Because you have the 30 flavors of tobacco for the hookah.
So we don't actually have any alcohol here. You have to bring it yourself, but
BYOB.
we have all the tobacco you can smoke, in like pipes. Okay, the pipes are like in metal cages. We have 6 different pipes. They all are like fresh water every single time. You get your choice of tobacco, and the hose we give you a disposable mouthpiece so that like you haven't put your mouth on the same pipe hose that 1,000 other dudes did. You know what I mean? And then we have pipes that have never had marijuana smoked in them at all.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So if you are on probation or you don't smoke marijuana but you smoke tobacco, I mean, you can enjoy it, and it's totally relaxing atmosphere.
Nice.
Come beat up your friends in some Mortal Kombat for an afternoon.
Yeah.
So you have the smoking lounge, the head shop going strong. What else you got going on? I like the membership idea.
Growing medium.
Growing medium.
That we sell that I make.
And the seed gift.
The seed gift.
What's the seed gift?
For every $60 you spend in the head shop or the hookah lounge, you have the choice of either receiving a marijuana gift free or a marijuana seed gift free.
Oh, I like that idea.
We have 3 strains from verifiable
And you
seed
get
packs.
6 seeds you get 12 seeds instead of 6 grams for free.
Nice. Nice. I like that. A lot of stuff going on. Some business is going strong. It's good to hear.
It's not like, and they're not seeds that happened on accident through hermaphroditic pollination in my flowering room. These were all plants that I chose specifically for their vigor, their growth, but from verifiable seed pack. And I back crossed them with themselves just because, I didn't have fucking another genetic, species to work with. But I wanted to purify it and make it so it was the best plant here in Colorado for Colorado, but from that strain. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Every seed that I have is from plants that will do really well in Colorado.
Right.
Yeah.
And how has the city or states been since we last talked? Has there been any more interaction or any more problems?
No.
No?
They only call me to verify that, to straighten out my paperwork, or I got a call from the Department of Revenue about when I started the tax ID. I mean, they don't call me or hassle me. They send me my OPT tax form, which I just file online anyways. You know what I mean? I pay my taxes regularly on a monthly basis. I'm sure they've sent somebody in here and try to get us to do something that we won't do. Or,
Yeah, they just busted how many dispensaries? Or, they didn't bust them, but how many dispensaries?
They sent 20, they hit 20 different stores over between Pueblo and Denver, and not one of them sold or gave weed to a minor. So
Yeah.
I'm sure, that's
We
just...
have minors in here all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a head shop, though. I'll sell them a pipe, but I will not give them weed.
So you just have to be 18 to buy paraphernalia.
Yeah, you have to
or
be
tobacco.
18 to come into the head shop. You have to be 21 to come into the hookah.
Well, you still got to be 21 to come into the building, but, if we know you're 18 and you're not trying to buy weed...
Can't give you any
Yeah,
weed.
we can't
Legal
sell you or
users.
give you any kind of pot.
Legal reasons, I can't
Yeah.
give you any weed.
You know what I mean? We don't give you alcohol.
And I tell them that.
Yeah. You know, we don't try, even though, you know.
The hell I want these doors to close for.
Yeah, I mean.
Right, there's no incentive for anybody to cheat the system. Why would you?
I was 18 once, and I had to wait to grow up to do the things I do now. And they can do the same goddamn thing, man.
Well,
and it's not like they're not going to be able to easily get it elsewhere.
Shit, a
I don't
medical
know about
marijuana
that, and I
patient.
don't care about that. They can't get it from me.
A medical marijuana patient can be 18 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
or below.
Yeah, to deny them use.
But I cannot give it to them.
Yeah, we can't give them recreational marijuana.
Right.
An 18-year-old.
But if I had an
go into a
18-year-old
pipe shop-
patient, I could sell him weed.
Yeah,
and
you
he can
could.
come in my store.
You could.
Yeah.
Well, an
Yeah.
18-year-old
Yeah,
can come
yeah.
into the pipe shop because it's a pipe shop.
Right.
I mean, they can go to any pipe shop and buy a pipe.
But because
Right.
we use marijuana here,
I just can't give them.
we don't want them in here because.
Yeah. Usually when they come in here, they're like, oh, well.
Yeah, and then they leave.
Yeah, because, you know, they wanted the pot. Well, if they would pay attention to the law, they would already know that I'm not going to give them
Well, it
pot.
says that you have to be 21
Yeah.
to enter the door on the front, and they still come in anyways. And then when you ask them, they look bummed that you asked. Like, oh, these guys are so cool that they're stupid. Please, I'm not in business because I'm stupid. Please, I might be a stoner, but I'm not stupid. They're gonna get it on their own, and I don't have to even try and figure out how they got it. I don't even care, as long as I don't get in trouble for them possessing it.
So what other motivational advice do you have for teenagers?
Get older.
Get your shit together first, and then fuck around, because it's better when you got money and you can go out and do things without any regret, knowing that your shit's straight. You know what I mean? I learned that. That's like a big thing right there. I mean, I thought, 25 years old, I had my shit together, but I didn't have one red cent. I didn't own anything. When you're young, do as much as you can to set yourself up for your own future, but don't neglect your mental state at that time. So still have fun, but be responsible so that you can, when you're 35, 32, 40, you have your PhD, you're not in prison, you have teeth. All those things are important.
Right. I agree.
You got family,
education, and teeth.
Yeah, I mean, those things are important. I mean, you have a long time with those kind of things,
I hope you edit that to say, so do you have any more motivational advice? Education and teeth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are very important aspects.
So tell me a little bit more about the growth of the head shop and where you think the future of that's going, how you're doing business on that.
We're already planning on doubling the size of the merchandise area for the pipe shop and expanding the hookah bar 3 times.
Nice.
I'm trying to get the funding together to do the build out and to get the merchandise. We have growing medium that I make, that I sell, that is specifically for marijuana. It's the same growing medium and same recipe that I use for the marijuana that we give away and for the medical marijuana for my patients.
So that people can just buy bags of medium from you. How much is it for a bag?
There's 3 different sizes. There's the number 5, the 7, and number 3, and those are all like pot sizes. And a number 3 is small, a number 5 is a medium, and number 7 is a larger one. But it's $10, $15, $25 each, so it robs waste. But literally, you don't have to do anything to it but plant your clone, or your seedling in it and water it.
Right.
Because I already did all the chemistry in it, and it's organic, 95, 85% organic. Because there was some time-released fertilizer, so there's some science and chemistry in it, but there's still earthworm, castings, mycorrhizae, composted marijuana waste, sphagnum peat moss, vermiculite, lime. So
Well, I like the diversification of all the different business products there. The soil, the pipes, the hookah lounge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good balance.
A lot of nice local pipes, too.
Yeah.
And local shirts.
Local's good.
Yeah, we're a local shop.
Does that
Yeah,
drastically increase prices, being local? I mean,
it
local
depends on
blower-
the piece. No, you
Yeah.
can still come in and buy a $30 local piece. You can come
Like
in and
you
buy a
can't-
$15 local piece.
if you bring in a piece of a glass that is the size of a pop can or smaller, and you want so much money for it that I can't put it on my shelf and ever sell it.
So let's
then-
talk about this. How do you, because a lot of people are product makers, paraphernalia makers, glass blowers, looking to sell their products in stores and dispensaries and other locations, Asian stores in the mall, other locations where pipes and paraphernalia is sold. How do you go about evaluating a vendor's presentation and product for sales?
First of all, it's attitude. You know what I mean? If you have an attitude about yourself and you think that, you know, your shit doesn't stink, it comes off. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, some people, you know, aren't willing to bend on their prices. They don't understand. They're trying to sell you a piece that's almost at retail, and you're trying to buy it at wholesale. They can't give you retail prices, so you have to mark it up so high to where it doesn't move. You know what I mean?
Somebody's never going to use that pipe.
They're never going to buy it because it costs so much.
That's what I'm saying. It'll sit on the shelf. Nobody will ever use that beautiful piece of artwork because they charged us an unfair price that made us have to charge our customers an unfair price.
Well, see, I mean, I understand people feel that they put a lot of time and effort into their work. But I mean, how does business that doesn't make the product make a profit off of it, and how do you stay in business? Because if you had your own store, you'd be selling your stuff at retail on your own instead of trying to go out and peddle it to somebody else to mark it up so that they can make money on it. Understand you got to make money. So is a business. You got a shop with just your glass and your gas. I got a store that's got an employee, an electric bill. I mean, you got to buy the tools. Yeah, I got so many lights. I got a vault. You got to have a car. You got to have, you know what I mean, security cameras. I don't want to ever ask anybody to lower their price. You know what I mean? More than one time. You know what I mean? It feels like I have to argue with them about how I do business because I tell them straight up, you know, I can't buy all this stuff at this price because I have to turn it over and make at least 1 to 2 times minimum what it costs. So if you sell me a pipe for $30, I got to sell it for $60. But if it's the size of a key for your automobile and you want $30 for a piece of borosilicate, come on, man, that's the size of a key. Please, I can't do it. I can't resell it at market value.
So do you try to typically double what you buy
Minimally.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're lucky and you can buy stuff at fair price from people and in bulk to make your money over a period of time. But this is the same as buying any commodity.
So what is the market want an average, you know, size pipe for? Nothing too elaborate. We're not talking about bongs. We're talking about handheld pipes.
Yeah, a little spoon, colors.
What are people wanting to pay?
$5 to $100.
Okay.
It's a varying range based on...
None of our prices in our store are out of whack with any other store in Colorado.
Do you go around and check? How do you judge that?
I wouldn't say I go around and check, but...
I've shopped enough in Denver.
Yeah, I do shopping. I live here. I shop at stores. There are things that I need that they might have.
Before I owned this store, when I was buying glasses, just consumer, there was a price range that I can afford. You know, and a pipe that fit my hand and my face. So I mean, a 5 to 6 inch pipe at the biggest. You know, no smaller than 3 inches. Then burn my nostrils and my eyebrows. There wasn't enough like artistic value in it, or if there wasn't enough glass, you know, I didn't buy it. You know, so my favorite pipe is a 3 to 4 inch pipe, and I think that's a lot of people's favorite, other than a bong or a bubbler.
I enjoy a good bubbler, man. Good, nice sized bubbler.
But it's the most easiest, readily most used, the spoon pipe, the chillum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those are the most sold and most used pipes around.
I mean, what do you think the average, what does a person spend every year in paraphernalia?
Oh, God.
On average.
It's $1 million market now.
It's a hobby, bro.
It's an individual, an average person.
$300 to $700, $800 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a regular smoker and you're buying, like, you know, expensive pieces, I mean, because, like,
shit, I would buy people who will spend, like, upwards to $5.
But I'm not talking about the extremes. I'm talking about the average. Those who are in the middle.
I mean, people who got jobs and who smoke weed every day, I guarantee are spending a couple $100 a year minimum on just pipes.
I would say $1,000 just to be fair.
That's probably the higher.
Because you have to think about breaking your pipe.
That's the higher. That's the higher.
Stealing your pipe. That's on average.
That's the higher.
The average stoner smokes with another person
on glass.
On
any smoking prevalent.
I don't know. I mean,
that seems a little pricey to me.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
$1,000 a year.
I mean, that's not your average person. We're talking about customers who are looking for value.
About 12 months.
We're talking about people who.
We're talking about 12 months. People spending money over.
Man,
12
that's
months.
That's a different financial bracket. You know, the $30 pipe, you $15, $5. You can sell 4 inches of glass for $15 or $20 easy. You know what I mean? Or $6. I mean, most people don't want to spend more than $100 at a time on a piece of glass, and if they do, they're going to cherish it. You know what I mean? They're going to have a box for it. It's only going to come out at certain times. I guarantee it.
Do the math. $30 times 1,000.
Or divided by 1,000 divided by 30. It's about $30
33.
Yep, 33 pipe. But say you buy like a $500 pipe or a $120 pipe and you break it. Most people only buy 1 or 2 bongs a year.
Bongs? I haven't bought a bong in years and years.
Yeah.
I have bought handhelds like this, and the next thing I'm contemplating is some type of interchangeable from flour to oil to wax type contraption. That will probably set me back somewhere between $200 and $400.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And that will be a purchase that I'll have made for the first time in years, and for the next couple of years probably also.
I mean, there are extravagant people, out there that will spend upwards to $1,000 to $10,000 a year. But those are a different customer bracket. The customer that's buying an eighth every day or every week doesn't have the money generally to go and spend on pipe like that. That's why like places like Illusion have stuff in their cabinets forever. Places like Purple Haze, they have a $400 Sherlock in their case. Probably be there for a long time. They got millions of dollars.
But it's like the car dealership.
See a lot of customers, and somebody probably walked in 2 days after we went in there and bought that son of a bitch.
But it's not always for sale. Sometimes it's for the PR. Sometimes it's like a car dealership that has the Corvette in the showroom. They're not really expecting to sell that car. But it's there to help increase the credibility and the overall sales of everything. Right. So sometimes when you have a $1,000 bong sitting in your shop, maybe you don't really expect to sell it, but it's more to kind of say, look at us. We have the ability to have anything in our shop. It's kind of showing off a little bit.
In a way.
In a sense.
It's just a waste, you know what I mean?
But what's the turnaround you need to make profit? 30 days, 60 days?
I don't know if it would really be a waste if like a person comes in and sees that pipe and goes, I need to show my buddy this pipe, buys a pipe, leaves, brings his buddy back to show him that pipe, and then he goes, I need to show my buddy this pipe.
Like if it were a type of attraction, a tourist attraction.
The problem is that a store like this that was built from the ground up, it didn't have anything. It didn't have any money to do anything. This store didn't have any financial backing. There was no millionaire funding me. It was all from the marijuana I grew. So I'd buy 5 pipes a fucking year and I'd sell them in the beginning. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it wasn't any kind of business as far as like profit. There's never really been any profit. I take in less money than the employee does sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally. I mean, it's like the glass blowers go and buy a $50 pack of glass.
For a business though, Mike.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a lot of money to have to pay out every month.
Exactly, but you know, when it comes down to it, I don't have a home outside of my business that has any kind of value. I rent an apartment. I have a 10-year-old car. You know what I mean? My shoes. I don't have any kind of like expensive jewelry. I don't have any money in the bank. Everything I have is from what I created from the seed. Somebody gave me a space to do my work in, and I did it from a seed, man. They said, here you go, man. We'll split it. I said, okay, just give me my stuff that I need to do it, and help me a little bit, and we'll get it going. And that's how I got it. And it's all because I learned something. You know what I mean? I didn't know anybody. Somebody gave me an opportunity, to turn something that wasn't working into something that was working. You know what I mean? And then I wasn't willing to go the same direction that they wanted to go. And so I had to go my own, because it was safer and more secure.
Well, that hard work will pay off one day, where you'll be able to have the $1,000 bong sitting in the corner just out of spite, just to say, I dropped $1,000 to have this in the showroom.
Every pipe is meant to be sold.
But maybe it can be used in store as the attraction idea, where when people come in, they get to hit from it.
People do that.
They get to hit from the $1,000 pipe.
They have the money to do that.
But if you go in there and look at the cabinets now, we have 3 display cabinets. You know what I mean? We have
really
full of
nice
glass,
pipes in there.
and we have a hookah bar that's functioning. You know what I mean?
If every time somebody came down, right, and they walked through the door, bought something, didn't buy anything or whatever, but they got a free hit from a $1,000 bong, that would be a cool tourist attraction to just go to the store.
We'd be giving out hits all day to people.
Yeah,
we already did the free joints, and all we got was vagrants in here.
But people come and buy.
Stunk up the place. Man, not really. I already did the free joint thing. I don't know if you look in the Urban Life magazine from February and April 2013. I have an ad in there that says free joint Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 4:20 to 5:20. So for 3 days, an hour every day, for over a year almost, or 8 months, I gave a joint out for nothing, just for showing up. And most of the people only came for the free joint. They didn't even buy a soda or a water. They were just coming to get free pot. And I mean, that's all I cared about was getting people here so they get the notoriety. I'm done giving people stuff for nothing, unless they come and they patronize the store. Selling the glass is how we make money. Like the marijuana doesn't make any money.
Just a way of saying thanks for doing us a job.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
you should listen to this week's Freakonomics episode. They talk about restaurants giving away free appetizers before meals, like chips and bread and stuff. That isn't really advantageous to the restaurant to do so because it seems to be a huge expense in food. It fills people up before they order, cutting down order size. So why do they keep doing it?
Right.
And what they realize is that when restaurants try to take it away, people stop coming. Because even though it's expensive, even though it cuts down on orders, without giving something constantly to the customer, they stop coming. So it's a question between, is it lower profits or is it no profits?
Yeah.
Because eventually people will always go where there's the free chips
joints
on the table.
We still do free joints every 4th, 14th, and 24th of every month.
Yeah.
So there's still a free joint with purchase every single month. When the vagrants were taking over the store and the customers couldn't even get to the counter to spend money, then it was a problem.
Right. But
I'm telling you,
that's an organizational problem. That's not an idea of concept
that
problem.
means stop giving it to people who are not going to help us.
See, what that tells me is that it worked.
It did.
The incentive was to
Absolutely.
get people to the store. You did something and brought people to the store. That, it worked.
But it started.
Now the
creating a
next
problem.
step of what to do once they get there is a different step of an issue.
And we
but the
stopped.
idea of did it work or not work, it worked.
It worked.
So that's a valid idea. That works. Now it's just rethinking step 2 of what do they do when they get to the store. How do you better organize it so the flow comes through for purchases? But
I feel
the
bad
idea
to even
works.
be upset about the fact that they would smell at my store. But, I mean, when they leave, I still got to smell them. Now, if they came in and they bought a
Of
soda.
smoking? Smell?
No, they smelled like
Homeless
ass.
people.
I'm telling you right now, dude, it became a problem.
Well, that's why you
It
put
brought
the
people
sign
down
that
here, but it
says,
brought people who...
we reserve the right to refuse service to
Exactly.
anybody
It brought-
who
exactly.
has offensive odor, no shirt, no shoes, who appears to be, anything. You're a private business. So you
No,
put the
they were
sign on the
knocking
wall.
over our paying customers, man, to get to the counter for the free joint. I cut it out. They did not respect me or the customers or the space. That became a problem. I'm not just giving people free pot just so they can come and destroy my space and disrespect my merchandise and my customers. I'm doing it because I'm trying to get people to know who we are and what we're about, who just showed up at the door.
We don't have to beat on that one.
I know.
We're going to move on to a different topic. Let's talk about
the growing medium.
The growing medium. So
is what
tell me
we're
about
really
this.
talking about.
Is there a special recipe? Is
yeah.
it something? Is it a secret?
It's a secret recipe, but the ingredients
Where does the secret
aren't
come
secret.
from?
Well, it comes from experience and from testing amounts of ingredients. So I had a base, and I started with the base.
It's all natural.
Yeah, it's 95%. I mean, I put time-released fertilizer in there that has micronutrients and has all the NPKs. It's 16 elements, or the 14 elements you need. Plus, there's organic. And when I say 95% organic, I mean, where are you going to get vermiculite from? Mars came from Earth. Same as sphagnum peat moss and perlite. Okay, phosphorus, lime, that's natural. Okay, mycorrhizae, bacteria is natural, and I can hold it in my hand versus holding a pile of dirt in my hand that I don't know what's in it. I know, a teaspoon of this has this much, in it, and I can work with that.
So people can just come down here and buy bags of it, or how does it work?
Oh yeah, it's already in grow bags. It's already in the pot. When you buy the bag, it is the growing container. It holds the medium.
So you're selling fertilizer, soil, medium, kind of a combination of...
It's a growing medium that has everything you need in it for the entire life cycle of a marijuana plant.
And what's it called? Just 4 strains?
It's my growing medium. It's 4 strains growing medium. It's marijuana specific, so it's 4 strains growing medium. Okay, if you came in and you bought the $60, minimum to get the free seeds, and you spent that money on medium, not only could you get enough growing medium and seeds to grow your own pot, but you'd be growing the same weed that we grow in our store.
Put a number 4 for grow medium, right?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have some type of name, because how are people going to ask for it? They're just going to
call
show
our
up to the store
and be
and
like, hey, yeah, the growing medium signs on the wall when you come in the store. We advertise it in our ads. You know what I mean? Occasionally, I think we got the hookah bar membership in the ad in Culture Magazine this next month. Last month we had the seed theme, just getting people come in. I suggest buying seeds anyways instead of buying clones and learning how to sex the plant so that you like have now beat the system as far as like selling clones that have pesticides and fungicides and pests and or spores, and then you're introducing that into your garden. So when you have a seed and you introduce a seed into a sterile environment that hasn't been contaminated, you have a lot less risk of having to use any kind of control factor other than just keeping your area clean. You end up with a product that has no pesticide, no fungicide sprayed on it because you haven't introduced any kind of outside plant into the garden.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of people don't even understand what I'm doing. You know, by offering them seeds and selling them the growing medium that I've learned to use that works for 4 different genetic varieties, you know what I mean? Or, you know, and, you know, it's safe for you. I mean, you take it home, you put some water on it. You're not going to keep measuring phosphoric acid to lower your pH. You're not going to be using caustic chemicals that you shouldn't be putting into the sewer, which is going into our watershed in the first place. You're harming our environment, and these chemical companies don't even know what they're doing. If you're finding ecstasy in the water system in Amsterdam, you're sure as hell going to find an overload of nitrates in the water in our cities.
What?
I'm serious. They did a water sample, you know, all over the city of Amsterdam, and you know what they're finding? Ecstasy in the freaking water. And you know what they're finding in our water here? Viagra and all kinds of other stuff. Psychotics like Xanax and what's that one with the P that everybody wants? You know, the downer. You know what I mean? Oh man, I don't even do them, and I don't know what they are, but I know that they're finding them in our water system. And I mean, I'm a green business. That's why the medium is what it is. It's composted marijuana waste, you know, with recycled growing medium, which was from a renewable resource in the first place, which is sphagnum peat moss. And so there went no waste. It's going to be safe, and you can throw it away later on. And you know, when your fan leaves are being cannibalized by the plant, you know that there's no medium, there's no nutrient left in the medium, so you're not, you know, having to, you know, like throw nitrates and poisons and fertilizers into the dump.
Yeah, I like that. It sounds good. It sounds like a good product.
I've been using it for almost 5 years, and it took me 6 months to write the recipe, basically, and it was through trial and error. And I mean, I have a trade certificate in indoor horticulture and greenhouse management maintenance, and I've been growing for 17 years. And I have my own hydroponic solutions from the periodic table of elements, where you use a formula, a worksheet, a pH meter, a scale, a calculator. You don't have to do anything but plant and water.
Yeah.
It's done. And
well, that's the type of growing I like. The easy to go, ready to grow, push the button that says push here type stuff.
But it's the same. It's like it will let the genetics be what they have available. Like it doesn't change the taste of the flavor. You know what I mean? And there's no bud hardeners, no bug candies, no molasses. We're not giving you a bunch of garbage. You know what I mean? That's not going to perform. That's gimmicks. It's real shit. I mean, it's the same stuff that you would use to grow your food with back in the day. It's just clean, safe, easy. People want to make it harder than it really is.
Cool. That sounds good. Have we left anything out? We talked about the pipes, talked about the growing medium.
I plan on doing a growing contest in November. It's a game called Colorado's Kingpin of Cannabis. You know, it's a cultivators competition. And we did it on April 6th in 2013. But this year, 2014, we're going to do it on November 6th. So we don't have to compete with High Times Cannabis Cup. And then that'll give everybody, you know, the chance to get their summer crop ready, you know, and when they harvest, they'll have some nice nugs to compete with.
Nice.
You know, and we start getting that info out now. That way they can start thinking about it, you know. Because I started only with a month worth of advertising and only on Craigslist and the Westward back in 2012. So I mean, it was kind of a poor turnout, but we still had it successfully with no issues.
Nice.
5 different types of cannabis, 3 different types of hash between wax and natural hash, and you know the judges were the ones that were the customers, so they got to come in, you know, and test all the buds and the waxes and the hash, and they got to rate it on a scorecard, and it's anonymous. You know what I mean? So like the people donating the marijuana are actually paying a entry fee and donating marijuana in order to compete with with other marijuana growers, and the money that they pay for the entry fee becomes the prize that they win. You know, and the more entries, the larger the prize.
Right.
And the house only takes 25% of the entry fee in order to like run the event and coordinate it and get the people in there and get people to come and pay, you know, to enjoy the day there, you know.
Well, where can people find all this information about you? Is the website up yet?
Yeah, we have a website. It's fourstrains.com. It's not the best website, but it's somewhat informative. You got to click the underlying text in order to like move from that first page. You can grow your own weed here at below like market value because you're growing it and you're only paying for the small things it takes to cultivate it. You can see the plants when you come in the store, when you're standing at the counter, they're right in front of you and behind the glass. The Garden Club members are the ones that give the marijuana away to the customers, not me. They pay for their space for their plants, and then whatever marijuana they don't use, they give away. It's pretty simple. Kind of like paying it forward more than anything. If you want to learn to grow pot, you can get a book, you can buy chemicals, you can buy the growing medium. You know, if you want smoking accessories, there's always places to go. We just want to be places that you want to go. You know what I mean? That you like going, because where it's at, who we are, the products we offer, the gifts. It's not about like making money. We don't care more about the dollar than the customer.
Cool, man. You know, I was just remembering it was show number 6, and this one will come out as show 26. So it was exactly 20 shows ago when we sat down for the first time, and we'll do it again in a few more months at like show 46.
Yeah. Our phone number is 720-320-6855. Our address is 2060 West Colfax, Unit A, Denver, 80204. We're open 7 days a week.
Right across from Broncos Stadium.
Yeah.
Very good. Cool. That was good.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this week's show. Make sure to come back next week. We're going to have more guests lined up, speaking with dispensary owners, growers, business owners. Make sure to follow us on all of the social media, Facebook, Google+. You can listen to our shows live from the website or your preferred listening platform. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, even YouTube, all under the same name, CannabisCommunityProject.com. We'll see you next week.